All right, y'all, welcome to the show. We got a long one for you today. So in just a second, we are going to talk about a massive fuck-up by ICE. They raided a factory that basically they were building a state-of-the-art factory, Hyundai and LG. It's like a battery factory. And you had all these legal immigrants working there. And ICE decided to put on this big show and basically like mass arrest everybody building the factory. So we'll talk about that. It's absolutely insane. We'll get to, this is a serious question now at this point. Is Trump trying to crash the economy? Because it certainly fucking looks like it from where I'm sitting. So we'll dive into that. We also have a new poll that came out. It shows that MAGA is on the ropes because Americans apparently now love immigration and immigrants. Wait until you see this new poll. It is literally a historic high in terms of the love for immigrants. We've never seen a poll this high before. And look, it's directly linked to the fact that Trump is destroying immigrants and rounding them up and sending them to concentration camps and ruining their lives. And there's now a backlash that's underway. We'll also get to Joe Rogan goes full anti-vaccine crackpot in an infuriating debate with his buddy Brian Callen. We'll talk about that. And Ben Shapiro and Mark Levin, later on, we'll discuss them crashing out on Fox News at anti-Israel Republicans. So we have all that and more. You guys know the drill. Everybody please subscribe to the channel. That helps out a lot and costs you nothing at all. Support the show on Patreon. $2 a month or $5 a month goes a long way. Remember, this is real independent media. I've never talked to an advertiser, never done an ad read, never talked to a billionaire or a PAC or a government or anything like that. You guys make this show work, and thank you so much for those of you who do donate on Patreon or tip with that thanks button on YouTube. And you could also sign up for Crystal Kyle and Friends on Substack. That link is below. And go sub to Corin's World, the YouTube channel, because we do live Kyle and Corin's over there. We try to do it every Monday, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss out on that. That's a lot of fun. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive into it. So we have this factory, which is being built in Georgia. It's a Hyundai LG battery factory. And it's real, it's gigantic, it's real state-of-the-art stuff going on over there. And, of course, to build this, you have a lot of legal immigrant workers who are here, including many people from South Korea. Of course, Hyundai is maybe even LG, but certainly at least Hyundai is a South Korean company. So you have all these people that are here legally to help build this factory. This is all part of a $20 billion investment package from Hyundai in the U.S., okay? Well, it turns out ICE decided, what if we raided this brand new state-of-the-art factory in Georgia and humiliated not only these legal immigrant workers, but also the governments from where they came. So here we go. We actually got some video of this whole thing. It is super duper disturbing because clearly they were trying to make a show out of all of this. Let's start with this one here.
GSP in position, north side.
So here we are, fully decked out in military gear, holding weapons, and they're trying to round up the workers.
Keep coming this way, please.
Look at all these workers. So they just go in there. It's a normal working day for these people. They go in there, stop all the work, and round up all of them.
Yeah. If it wasn't for that, worried about guns.
No belt. No belt.
Here they are. Watch. They're gonna put chains on these workers. Chains. Look at this. Now, if you pay close attention here, you could see these are South Korean workers. These are legal immigrant South Korean workers here to help set up this new factory, this battery factory. Jesus Christ, man. Holy shit. Look at this. Look at this. This is incredible. Look at this. This is incredible. Treating these legal immigrants like they're criminals. Look at this. Okay. So, these images of the mainly Korean workers being chained by ICE. These images of the mainly Korean workers being chained by ICE in full restraints, including wrists, belly, and ankles, are pretty nuts. ICE has released the video of its raid on Hyundai LG's Georgia battery plant site showing Korean workers chained up and led away. South Korea's foreign ministry has confirmed over 300 of the 457 people taken into custody are Korean nationals. More. They basically sent a military-style convoy to arrest factory workers, but only one of the 457 people was on a B-1 visa and was there for training. Of the arrests, South Korea has identified 300 of them as South Korean citizens, which they say all had valid work visas. Now, Hyundai and South Korea will be rethinking their $20 billion investment in new U.S. manufacturing plants. And then this guy goes on to point out, oh, and P.S., the one guy who was there on a B-1 visa, that prevents him from doing, quote, productive labor, but it allows attending training, conferences, business meetings, or consultations. Those are all allowed on B-1 visas. So in other words, it's possible that literally all of the people that they rounded up, they did so wrongly. But this is what's happened, y'all. This is what's happened in this country, is that we have, ICE is now a rogue agency. It's a rogue agency. And so now we've seen scenarios where there's basically mass kidnappings and abductions, and they end up human trafficking these people with no due process, and they raid schools and meat packing facilities and farms and Home Depots and 7-Elevens, and they deported a 4-year-old American citizen with cancer, and they arrested a woman immediately after she gave birth. And you've had U.S. citizens who speak a different language, and they kept them locked up for a week, even though the mother came and said, hey, here's the birth certificate, here's the social security card. A U.S. Marshal was arrested. A U.S. veteran from Puerto Rico was arrested. You've had people sent to the fucking concentration camps in El Salvador. I mean, this is a rogue Gestapo regime. And so now, not a single one of these people should have been locked up. So let me give you some more, because the plot thickens, bro. The plot thickens even more. Ready for this? So here's Trump. He's asked about this because this becomes a big deal. This becomes an international crisis because the South Korean government, naturally, is fucking furious. They're like, what the fuck? We invest $20 billion in your country. We send our workers to help you set up the fucking battery plant. You round them up and treat them like fucking criminals. What is wrong with you? So it becomes a big crisis. Trump is asked about it, and then here's what Trump says. This is interesting.
Calling it regrettable what happened with their workers at the Hyundai plant?
Well, I'll speak to them. You know, look, it's a battery factory in that case, as I'm told. And, you know, when they're building batteries, if you don't have people in this country right now that know about batteries, maybe we should help them along and let some people come in and train our people to do, you know, complex things, whether it's battery manufacturing or computer manufacturing or building ships. So we're going to look at that whole situation. We have a lot of industries that we don't have anymore, and we're going to have to train people. And the way you train people is bring people in that know what they're doing and let them stay for a little while and help. So I'm going to look at that. It's a very interesting situation that took place in Georgia. And we heard about it yesterday. At the same time, ICE was doing right because they were here illegally. But we do have to work something out where we bring in experts so that our people can be trained so that they can do it themselves. Does that make sense? Right?
Is it straining the relationship with Korea at all?
No, we have a great relationship with South Korea. Really good relationship. You know, we just made a trade deal. But I'm going to look at it because I understand exactly what they're saying.
Okay, so that was bizarre because he sounded very sympathetic. Quote, it's a battery factory. If you don't have people in this country that know about the batteries, then let some people come in and train our people. The way you train people is bring people in and let them stay for a little while. Well, that's exactly what the fuck was happening. The question is he forgetting from day to day what he's signing off on and saying like, yeah, go ahead and raid the fucking legal immigrants at this new battery factory? Or is somebody else calling the shots? Is it Stephen Miller who decided, hey, I get to determine where ICE does their raids? Is that what's happening? Because I'm telling you, from where I'm sitting, I mean, I know Trump is anti-immigrant as anybody, but from where I'm sitting, this is to spark an international crisis and scandal like this. And, basically potentially ruin a $20 billion investment in the U.S. You would have to be mental to do that. Now, Trump is mental, but I'm sure he's delegating a lot of power to different people for different issues. And we all know it's Stephen Miller who's really steering the ship when it comes to immigration. And so, is he the one who's really calling the shots? And then if that's the case, why isn't anybody in the Trump regime fucking smart enough to start whispering in his ear and say, sir, this guy's undermining you. This guy is not looking out for your best interest. This guy's humiliating you. This guy's making bad decisions, and then you get blamed for those bad decisions. This guy is overriding you, sir. We saw, dude, this happened with the what was it? The attack on Yemen. When we had, remember the leaks that came out, which showed, the group chats where they accidentally invited a journalist, that it was really Stephen Miller who was like, oh yeah, we got the go-ahead from the big guy. There's no evidence there was any go-ahead from the big guy. So this guy, he might be the fucking shadow president, this little fucking twerp Nazi, this dweeb twerp Nazi might be the shadow president, and he might be the one who signed off, yeah, go raid the fucking new Georgia battery factory with only legal immigrants who are correctly helping us build it. So look, this is what I'm trying to say. If the world doesn't slap us back down and put us in place, then this is not going to stop. We're only going to escalate. We're only going to go further. I mean, look at what's happened with Israel and Gaza. Without the world stepping in and slapping Israel back down and embargoing them and sanctioning them and arresting Netanyahu, now they fucking run amok. They go crazy. They do whatever the fuck they want, and there's no consequences whatsoever. They just get worse and worse and worse. It's the same thing for us. If South Korea stands for this, worse shit is going to happen, right? They should cut off that $20 billion. They should not invest in the U.S. I mean, can we make it any more clear that we want to be effectively a white nationalist country, that's what this government is trying to do? Like, we might as well put up a sign that says, nobody welcome here anymore, right? And that's why you see the tourism industry is collapsing. Las Vegas is fucking collapsing. You used to have all these people from Canada come and visit. Now, it's imploded. The prices are too high. Nobody's coming here anymore. Everybody's afraid of getting rounded up by immigration at the airport and sent to fucking CCOT, the concentration camp Gulag, or Guantanamo Bay, or Alligator Auschwitz. Everybody's so afraid they're not even bothering to come to the U.S. anymore. So that's what people don't realize. The long-term impact of what's happening here is fucking devastating. Forget the brain drain is one thing, which fucking cooks us as far as the eye can see. The cutting off of the funding for scientific and medical research is another thing that cooks us. But being this anti-immigrant also cooks us. People think, oh yeah, I'm tough on immigration. I want to reduce the number of immigrants. People think that until there's nobody to fucking deliver their DoorDash. Then all of a sudden it's, oh shit. Why is nobody doing the things I want them to do? Yeah, gee, I wonder. Let me give you a little more here. This is in Politico. Immigration Appeals Court expands mandatory detention for millions. The ruling by the executive branch panel upends a decades-long understanding of immigration law. A powerful Justice Department appeals panel has declared that anyone in deportation proceedings who entered the U.S. without legal authorization is not entitled to be considered for release on bond by an immigration judge. So stop and think about that. That means all the U.S. government has to do is say, oh, this person that we detained, they're not here with any legal authorization. They just have to say it, and then boom, you can't be considered for release on bond by an immigration judge. So this is like, it's almost like expanding the idea of pretrial detention for immigrants. It's like locking immigrants up indefinitely, no due process. And this reverses the way we've always done it. The ruling upends a decades-long understanding of federal law and could subject millions of immigrants to mandatory detention, a loss of liberty that advocates say could cause many to voluntarily leave the country, even if they have meritorious cases to remain. So even if you're here for a good reason, people are not going to want to fucking go through this hell on earth and be detained for no fucking reason whatsoever. So that's absolute catastrophe. Now, that's one thing, fucking body blow to freedom and liberty in this country, but it actually gets worse. Ready for this? The Supreme Court gives Trump a license to engage in racial profiling, with Justice Kavanaugh writing in concurrence to expressly endorse ICE and Border Patrol targeting any Latinos they observe in Los Angeles speaking Spanish and then demanding their papers. Today, the U.S. Supreme Court rubber-stamped explicit racial profiling during DHS immigration raids. This greenlights the worst ICE and CBP practices we are seeing against Latino communities around the country. We can expect this racist enforcement to expand rapidly. So this guy, Aaron Reichlin Melnick, he goes as far as to say, if you're Hispanic and you're in this country, it is not an understatement to say you should literally be walking around at all times with your social security card and with your birth certificate on you, just to prove, hey, no, I am an American. Oh, you call me speaking Spanish, and that's basically a fucking crime now? But look, I swear, I'm an American citizen. Look what I got here. So they're saying racial profiling is A-okay. That's what they're saying here. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. No ambiguity whatsoever. So if you're keeping track, you're not allowed to consider race when admitting somebody to college, but you can consider race when profiling and trying to be an asshole to people. Unfucking believable, man. Again, freedom and liberty is dead. It is gone. They fucking killed it at the altar of this anti-immigrant hysteria. Absolutely mental. Absolutely insane. So, the damage the Supreme Court is doing, the damage the Trump regime is doing, it is becoming, I mean, I know I've said it before, but you need almost 16 years of a Democratic president to just undo the damage that's already been done. Never mind get us to a place where we can then build in the right direction and do Medicare for all or Social Security for all or any of a number of super important policies that people want. We're at the point now where it's 16 years just to get us back to baseline with the fucking cuts to science and medicine and pediatric cancer research and Meals on Wheels and the National Weather Service. They've ruined fucking everything. They've ruined everything. And this country is rapidly declining. I'm not sure I've ever seen imperial decline this fast. I mean, I thought this was supposed to be a fucking slow thing, but we're going 1,000 miles an hour in the wrong direction. Hey, y'all, do me a favor and like and subscribe. It helps out big time in the algorithm. Click the bell as well for notifications when videos drop, and watch that video on screen right now. You know you want to.